So, like, do supernatural beings like gnomes, leprechauns, trolls, etc., do they physically die?
There are some that really are physical. There are places in Ireland, United Kingdom, Scotland, Norway, trolls, leprechauns, the little people. There are some that really, really are physical, and some aren't. There are, I mean, who? It's like Dobby on Harry Potter. Have I seen any physically? No, I've seen some etherically that appear very, very real, but I was sure they were etheric. But yes, they do. The physical ones, they are on an evolutionary path like we are. And they evolve and they grow and they have ancestors and they have ghosts. They they have ones that they talk to that come back that they do counsel with. One of the cool things about Native American culture, I think, that draws people is like living in India. You are connected to spirit and you know that you walk into worlds or others. And so beings like that remind us that they can walk in two worlds, but in a different way that we do. I think their focus in other densities and other dimensions and other realities is much more pronounced than ours is because they are guardians of the earth. Their purpose, now, I'm not talking about the Davic beings specifically, but the ones that we've mentioned, they are guardians and they keep things in place like they're supposed to. So I think we don't, there's so many ideas about this, and there's so many people with different ideas, but I know specifically that they do absolutely come back and they do communicate through those otherworldly beings as well as being physical.
So then, do the living ones have ancestor guides?
Oh, yeah. Oh, they do. And there are a couple stories, so to speak, where people have seen gargoyles. And I've had some very real experiences with gargoyles, just almost comical. They are interdimensional, they are not physical. I don't know why that is. They just aren't. It's like, why is an eagle big and a sparrow small? I don't know. Somebody made it that way. God did that. But I think the mystery of it is what is so beautiful about it. It takes us into a world of, you want to call it make believe, you can. You want to talk about the spiritual aspects of things. If you go to India and if you look at how the native people in India live, and I don't mean Native Americans, I'm talking about the Hindu religion, et cetera, the Vedic religions, there's a different way of life, of approaching life. Over here in the Western world, we have developed a lot through technology. Is it bad? No, it's not bad. But we've gotten away from that. If you watch television and then the show stops and you see a commercial, that's called commercialism. It will sell you something. So our life right now is based on the technological aspects of offering it to the world and to people. And we offer it to each other kind of to see what'll happen. And what's happened is, yeah, we've gotten a little imbalanced, but it does a lot of good too. We're developing things in a different way. So we can always learn from others. And I think the cool thing about the supernatural beings, the dwarves, the gnomes, the trolls, whatever, they are very specific in their jobs. They stay in their lane. They don't go, oh, I wish I was a fairy. The trolls don't go, does my butt look big in this outfit? They just don't. So we deal with our human fables and foibles in a very different way. But we are the ones that are walking on the earth, and the human soul is a very highly evolved, precious thing. And we are slowly, magnificently returning to the time where magic is in the air. That's what race 7 is. It's ceremonial magic. It doesn't mean putting curses on people. That's dumb. What it means is seeing the magic and the mystery in things. Go talk to a kid. They see stuff and they're not always making it up. My parents thought I was absolutely insane because I was this little developing psychic medium. Oh my God, the stuff I saw, my poor parents, but their job was to teach me how to live in the world. I drove them crazy. So we do grow and evolve in different ways than these beings, and they are precious. There are some very nasty little fairy beings out there. Some trolls, you really don't even talk to them. Trolls can be very irritable anyway. There was the troll Guap that I met that was we talked about in one of the books, and he showed up in my bedroom one night, and he's huge. He was holding a shovel. He said, "Can I dig a tunnel in that wall you just built? Because you covered up the path." I'm like, "Well, hell, now what?" So yeah, go ahead. So, and it will be in the Supernatural Beings book that will be coming out within hopefully a year to show, yeah, he dug a tunnel there and it's psychically still there. And he's very sweet. He's very kind. Are the nice ones more evolved? Why do humans think if something is nice, it's because they like us? It's their nature to be that way. And there is many kinds of those guys as there are humans. Imagine somebody saying, well, all humans are exactly the same. They look the same. They act the same. They eat the same food. They want that. And so we're not. There is a magnificent diversity in supernatural beings. It's not a one size fits all.
What about some of the more fearsome ones like the dog men? Are they all dangerous?
No, they're not. And I'll address that. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but they don't call themselves dog man. And they are from a different system than this system. They do travel through portals and they, like what you call Bigfoot, are very connected with the off worlders. Not every single one, but many, many are. They have families, they have councils, they have jobs. What you call dogmen and Bigfoot are the guardians of the forest. They kill the beings that are nasty, that are demonic. The Wraith, the Slender Man, they kill them. And those are the ones that are hurting people on the Appalachian Trail and other places. But humans, how we are, we're scared of everything. If something's big and scary and got teeth, we're afraid of it. Well, maybe that's a primal nature limbic system thing. So what? We're getting over it. Have you ever met anybody or seen anybody, and God bless them if they have a severe deformity in the face? They can be scary looking. And the more you would get to know them and to talk to them, you'll see how kind they are. You'll see that they are suffering. And you might befriend that person, but you won't forget it because you had to work through your fear of something of having non-symmetry. What we call the dog men, it's dog men are not the same as the wolf man, so to speak. I won't get into that today. But the dog men, what you call them, I don't know yet what their name is for themselves, but they are generally very loving. And they will chase you because they think it's funny. They they like to do it's funny. We're idiots. Wow, we run away. We're being chased by the dog men who can run 80 miles an hour and they're not catching us and they're scratching on our window, looking in the window, and all they have to do is reach a hand in and pop it open. They're not really here to hurt you, but there are some pretty nasty ones that are. I personally would not go into the woods by myself. I just don't. Many people do. I used to. I would take bear spray or Emma, my M4, or 357 or something, whatever. But we live in Montana and there's more Montana here than there are people. We barely have 1 million people in the whole state. This is a vast wilderness. Now, what you call Dogman and Bigfoot, they are all over the world and they adapt. There was a man that I met back in the 80s, stayed at my house for a little bit called Jim Spinks. And Jim Spink had researched the swamp man down in Florida, and these were Bigfoot, and they smell terrible. And I still have the cassette tapes that he made, and he did radio shows. He had literally gone down and lived in a hole trying to see them, and he did see them. They smell horrible. That's just how they are. Some of the dogmen smell horrible. That's just how they are. So it's not that one size fits all, but my prayer, being a psychic medium and dealing with so many supernatural beings, is that I pray that humanity will get over its absolute terror of anything that's not itself. They look up in the sky and see UFOs. Oh my God, they're going to hurt me. No, they're not. They're not. Most of the beings in the forest, the guardians, the Bigfoot, the dogman, they're not going to hurt you. If you're running away, they may think it's fun to chase you. They may be training their kids. Look at this idiot human. They're running away. There have been many, many stories of what you call Bigfoot helping people. And a lot of times if you're camping and you get their little bitty pebbles being thrown at your tent is different than if they're throwing bigger rocks at your tent. They want you out of there. Have you ever considered that maybe you are in danger, not of them, but what else is in the forest? We don't consider that. We're always threatened by the threat itself. So, my prayer is that we can all get a better, courageous take on ourselves. Do some things daily that scare you. Now, I don't mean taking huge risks, but work through your fears, develop a backbone. Leave the cowardice behind you. We all do that. We all have that within us. It's just part of human nature. But over the next couple years, you're going to see more and more communication with the group of what you call dogmen who are elegant and they do speak and they are highly, highly intelligent. Look at in Egypt the god Anubis, Anubis, the dog-headed god. What do you think that was? Look at the Yeti that's in the Himalayas. Now that Yeti, the white one, that's supposedly pretty treacherous. They have an attitude. Maybe they're cold and they're pissed. I don't know. But the ones that live in the Pacific Northwest appear to be very calm and very peaceful. Just like people who live in different places have different personalities. So we're learning more, and there are some researchers doing things, but to go into the woods to try to kill a dogfoot, kill a dog man, a Bigfoot, whatever, why would you do that? They have souls. They have us. You're like killing like a human being. And the ones that are assets, that are military assets, good on you. Who cares? Who cares? You can get all jacked up about black ops and the chatter about what's here or there. Just leave it alone. You don't need those guys coming to your house. You don't need to deal with this. None of your business. We don't know what else is out there. Anything you can imagine is out there, so to speak. But you have to remember the bottom line is love. And the Bigfoot and what you call the dogmen, their life is based on love and on rules and on families and of guarding the forest. So the next time you think you're being chased, maybe you're being run out of an area that's dangerous to you, or maybe they're just having fun.
So is the Bigfoot the same thing as a Yeti?
Yes. And what I've been told about them is that they're a type of a bear. I don't mean bear like a grizzly or a bear, but they are a type of bear. They have never not been here. They are from somewhere else, of course. And there are certain ones that are very involved with UFOs, that sort of research. They will not hurt you generally. There are some that have horrible temperaments that are insane, like people are, and so This is a very personal issue for me because the beings that I see that used to scare the crap out of me, they don't anymore because I think I have had to become more reticent and more loving. I hope that's what it is.
That's beautiful. And it makes me think about what you were talking more earlier about commercialization and how perhaps our fear of the supernatural beings is just a really easy way to commodify our thought about them rather than make it real.
Well, that's absolutely true. And I think we're in a phase of humanity. I don't think in the future, I mean, people will look back and say, this is the barbaric age. Absolutely. It really is. When did it become normal that you can't walk in your cities without being killed or the threat of that? Really? So, to fix that, we have to do some pretty aggressive things that look scary. But sorry, things have gone too far. And I think technologically, you could say, well, maybe things have gone too far. But we've always done this in this world. This is a binary situation where you have yin and yang, black and white, up and down, left and right, hot and cold. That is how we live here. So we go through these phases, and right now, the industrialization of the Americas of the Western world is very important. You know, I imagine the first time somebody saw a horseless carriage. Oh my God! When did they build? When did Sam Wall build the first Walmart? I mean, these things have changed society. But we look at commercialization and then we get angry at it because we get let ourselves be controlled by it. You know, we can't take our inside self outside and open it up to all these vicinities, so to speak, that are going to affect you and infect you without having a center. And you build that center through prayer and meditation. Prayer is very precious. The religions are very precious. The ones without religions, that sort of bringing in the divinity, that's very precious also. So we go through these value systems and these judgments in this world when we're just really trying to even it all out.